Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
It's Around the House. When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is a lot to know, but we've got you covered. This is Around the House.
Welcome back to the Around the House show. This is your home improvement answer every single week. Thanks for joining us. Man, it is my last midweek special before the new year. This is the last one for 2022. And I want to start out by saying thank you to you guys. Man, every single one of you have been amazing this last year with how many new people we have in the Around the House Nation, to our Facebook group, Instagram, and of course our Facebook closed group. All you have been absolutely amazing. And I love that how we've, as a community, have been helping each other out with home improvement projects. So thank you again. And we have a very exciting 2023 coming up. You're going to get to see Around the House television, where we're going to be doing a weekly television show that will be nicely produced with home improvement tips. And you'll have a lot of video that you'll be able to see. You know, in some areas on television, you'll be able to stream it, and I'll be able to give it that so you can watch it yourself on your mobile device, and you'll be able to catch it on YouTube as well. So we have a lot of great things coming, and this here is not going to change as far as Around the House show on the radio and podcast. So we've got a lot of great things ahead. So thank you again. This could not be done without you guys being a part of it. So I really want to give you guys a big thanks for everything. Well, today I wanted to talk a little bit about some recalls that came up. By the way, if you hear some noise in the background today in the broadcast, don't worry, everything's fine. I have a high wind warning outside where we could get 65-mile-an-hour winds, and you will probably hear tree pieces, pine cones bouncing off the side of the roof of the building here. So it's a little crazy, and that's why I wanted to get this done and get it out before we lose power and or internet, because usually when we lose power, the internet's hooked to those same poles, you get the drift. So there's some crazy recalls out there right now. Samsung recalling right now top-loading washing machines due to a fire hazard. But the cool thing is there's a software repair available. So that's what's cool. There's about 663,000 of these Samsung top-load washing machines that are Wi-Fi equipped. So make sure that your Samsung washer is plugged in, and it will update itself, and that will change it so it's not a fire hazard. Think about this. How many times we talked about recalls being repaired by software? That's kind of cool. They've figured out a way to do that. So that make sure that you can do that. If for some reason this is in a location where you don't have internet or you don't have a way to hook it up to Wi-Fi, make sure that you contact Samsung directly. They will give you a free little dongle to plug in and download the free software repair. And you can find that over at Samsung.com. So make sure you do that. Pretty cool how that works using that. So that's pretty dang impressive. Now, one of the other things, if you have a Sundance Spa is recalling Jacuzzi and Sundance Spa brand hot tubs due to injury and thermal burn hazards. So the temperature sensor can relay incorrect water temperatures and cause the water to be much hotter than the temperature posing injury, heat stroke, and thermal burn hazards. So I want to make sure that you've got the right hot tub. The hot tub temperature should be no higher than 104 degrees prior to entering the hot tub. So you might want to use a external thermometer to make sure that that is the right temperature. And you can find that information over at jacuzzi.com, find a dealer, or sundancespas.com, find a dealer. And there's about 23,700 units that are being recalled, and about 5,400 in Canada, and about 40 were sold in Mexico. Seems like Mexico might not be the Sundance Spa corner of the world for them. And then I think that's kind of the most of the big ones out there right now. Everything else I think we've pretty much talked to. There's a lot of different recalls on motors. SIMU, S-I-M-U, recalls motors sold with awnings and shutters because the power cable can come loose and shock you or electrocute you. That's a bad deal. And there's only 13,800 of those out there. And then that's most of it right there. So that recalls, that's all our recalls for the day today. So thanks again for that one. If you have any questions where you can find this information that I'm talking about today, you can just go to cpsc.gov/recalls and all the detailed information can be found there. Well, I tell you what, it's been interesting here. In my Pacific Northwest, where I'm living in the Portland metro area, we have had a ton of weather issues, from ice storms to below zero temperatures in a lot of places. And now we've got heavy winds today. But yesterday, I was really surprised. I saw this hit the news this morning. And this is something people don't really think about. And obviously the tree guys didn't think about. But, a 90-foot tree, big fir tree, fell down and landed across somebody's house, right? And it was leaning at an angle. The roots came loose and it tilted over and hit the house. Tree company came in and they kind of messed up on the tree company did. Obviously, these guys knew what they were doing, but really didn't know how to deal with it on top of a house. So they came in. It was laying across the top story, had broken through the roof, but they needed to get in there really with a crane and support that as they cut it away. But they made a big mistake. They cut it right at the stump. And obviously, watching this thing on video, because, of course, the news crew was there. And when I see it, I'll post it up on our Facebook page, Around the House Show over there. They ended up cutting it off at the stump. Well, it was leaning. And as soon as they cut it off the stump, where they cut it, it dropped down 4 feet, which shock loaded the tree, which now filleted into the house. It looked like another 5 or 6 feet, causing double the damage, it seemed, by looking at the video, than what happened before. And unfortunately, if they would have came in with a crane and came in and lifted that away and cut it away, they could have done that without, much of the same damage. This hit this tree in this newer construction house so hard, it did foundation damage with a crack in the concrete on that where it hit. So that's a big deal when you see a tree do that kind of damage all the way down to the concrete. So it tells you what kind of loads got pushed down into that. So they've got some serious issues there. And unfortunately, at the best efforts of the arborist and or tree company, it did a lot more damage than initially done by just the tree falling. So if you ever have that happen to you, make sure you got the right people in there and take a look at it as they're doing it. Think that through. Go, okay, if I cut it off here, is that going to put more load on the house? And that's exactly what they did, is they transferred the load from the stump all the way over to the house. And, of course, that did a boatload of more damage. So just something to think about when you're peeling logs off your house. All right, guys. Well, and then another one here, too. This was interesting. I don't know if you saw this, and I had posted this up on Facebook. So if you're part of Around the House Show over there on Facebook, I posted this up, and holy smokes, this was crazy. This was over in Pennsylvania, and I was surprised at this. This thing was a gas leak inside somebody's house. And wow, this was shocking. It looked like they had a plumbing company was over there. If you look at it, they were inside or outside the house doing some digging and found the gas line in Susquehanna Township. And this looked like Pronto Plumbing was out front, so it looked like they were working on it, and they hit the gas line at some point. Obviously got inside the house. Something ignited it, and you can watch that entire roof. That thing has to hit 100 feet in the air before it blows into a million pieces, sheathing and all. It just lifted it up, and unfortunately damaged dozens of homes around there. How it didn't happen where there was a bunch of people killed, I'm very thankful for. There's a lot of people that could have died in that thing, and I'm very happy at that. But it leveled that entire neighborhood and the house. I'm just shocked. There is nothing left of this house. I mean, it looked like It looked like it got hit with an airstrike. It was just gone. And the vehicles around it were buried. Houses around it sustained damage and structural damage just from that as well. And boy, one project that went sideways is a DIY project, and you can catch it over there on one of the reels over there on Around the House Show on Facebook. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to get this going. It's my birthday. I am going to go have me some brunch here, and I wanted to get this out here before the weather turns and I can't get it posted up because it looks like we've got a rough few hours ahead here for the next 2 or 3 hours. So I'll get this up for everybody. Hey, make sure if you've got any questions, if you want any questions for a home improvement project you're working on, if you're stuck on something, there's a couple ways to get a hold of me over at Around the House online, and you can hit the contact us. I always get back to you. So make sure you message over there, or you can hit me over on Facebook, Around the House Show. You can hit me up on Twitter, as well as Instagram and or LinkedIn. Instagram is the hardest one because I get so much people over there on that one. I have a hard time seeing those notifications. It doesn't always show up on my phone correctly, so that can take days. If you hit me up on Facebook or you hit me up on the Contact Us, that shows up at the top of the line. So that'll be the easiest way to get a hold of me. And coming up here in January, stay tuned. This is going to be fun. For my TV show, we are going to have a segment in the TV show each week where you're going to be able to take a video with your home improvement question and ask me, and I'll put you on the show, and then I'm going to answer your question for you. So we'll be doing that on the TV show via video submission. So stay tuned for that. In the next few weeks, I will have that up and running. So you'll be able to ask those questions, and then I will be able to jump on and get you those answers. And whatever ones we don't get to on that, I will make sure that we answer them here on the show. Even if we can't fit them into the TV show, I'll make sure that we hit those over on the radio show and podcast. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Happy New Year's. Have a wonderful rest of 2022. Have a safe New Year's Eve, and we'll see you on the flip side. We've got a great show ahead as well this weekend with the best of 2022, part 3 and part 4, my favorite segments. All right, everybody, thanks for listening to Around the House. I always appreciate it.
Somewhere unseen and undiscovered, anywhere beyond the mean. Life is a love song, let's be lovers. We're all over the radio. Take my hand, I know where to go. All over the radio with you.
Hey, it's Eric G. from Around the House. Are you planning a decking or siding project this year? If you are, you've got to check out my friends at Millboard. Millboard is a completely different kind of composite decking and cladding that enhances outdoor spaces with enduring distinction. Hand-molded from the finest oak, it realistically mimics the natural grain and color of premium hardwood. If you're looking for something that doesn't look like plastic and instead real wood, check out millboard.com. Make sure and check out that interview we did just a few weeks back. That's millboard.com.